Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hey, That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Cotnoir.
I'm Brian Lynch.
This is the first episode. We wanted to just talk to you guys about what the show's going to be, who we are, and kind of get you set up for what's ahead.
What you can expect in the upcoming weeks.
And until the end of time, I think.
Oh, God, we're doing this until we die? I mean, beyond when we die, it sounds like.
I guess we haven't talked about it.
Oh.
You and I, we've got a little while before we die, I think.
Well, now that you've said that, and no wood was knocked.
Do you think you could handle this podcast by yourself?
Oh, sure. I was hoping that it would have happened by now, to be honest.
This podcast, we're doing commentaries on movies and TV shows with people who never got to do commentaries on them.
Yeah, I think commentaries are kind of a dying art because there's physical media's dying. And that was my favorite part of getting a DVD or Blu-ray or now 4K is listening to the filmmakers and talk about the process. It's what got me excited to make them when I was a little younger.
100%. 100%. It is something where, like, a lot of movies aren't released physically, or if they are, it comes out and it's just the movie, or it's just the movie and like 2 deleted scenes, and you're like, that's boring. Right. That's lame. Give me a lot of stuff. And the goal with this show is to talk to the people who don't get to talk about these things a lot. You know, the people who are the costume designers or the VFX people or the editors or whatever like that. They don't usually get a chance to talk at length about something.
And Patrick, they have stories too.
They're
important as well.
That's what I found out.
Right. You didn't think going into this that they were going to have stories? What did you think the podcast was going to be?
Oh, boy. Just us talking, I guess, which nobody wants that.
No, look how bad this is going.
We're going to do a variety of different things, whether it's a TV show or a movie, you know, all genres, anything that we think is interesting and people that we think are cool and deserve a spotlight a little
And you
more.
can watch it on your TV or computer and then listen to our podcast and play along. It's like you're with us, but you're shy.
But you're shy.
Because you're not saying anything.
Yeah. And we'll count it down for you at the top and you can sync it up. Or you can ideally also just like listen to it on your own. And if you've seen the movie, you don't necessarily need to watch because you'll know what's going on.
And we're very entertaining without having to look at anything.
I think so. Once you start looking at us, that's when the problems start.
That's what my wife constantly says. She says, like, when I call you,
yeah, I
have a whole different feeling for you. And it's so much better. And then she comes home and I see the look in her face.
Yeah.
And she wants to go to the other room and just call me. I said, FaceTime? She goes, no, not FaceTime.
I don't have that problem.
My wife loves being in the room with you.
She likes me.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
You're very cute.
Thank you.
What is your favorite commentary from a past DVD or Blu-ray?
Oh, man, that's a great question.
Thanks,
and
Patrick.
probably something I should have thought of before this. Let me think of a few that I like. I like the funny people one a lot.
It's fantastic.
It's really good. I like the Star Wars ones, even though they do my least favorite thing that
Cutting
commentaries
in
do.
between.
Like 6 people did commentaries, and then they just edited them together into one.
Right.
And I don't want that.
Right.
Let them talk. Let them.
If they were in the same room, fantastic.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my DVDs right now.
I think Kevin Smith always gives the best commentaries.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I really like the Lost ones a lot. You know, it was fun when a show is coming out. And especially a show like that, and you get to just hear them talk at length and like tease things that are coming up. You'd get one season and be like, oh my gosh, here's 4 new hours of content of people like talking about the show that I love.
Simpsons did it for the first like 5 or 6 seasons.
Simpsons did it for almost every
Oh, they
season.
did?
Simpsons
Okay,
do it.
okay.
Yeah. Simpsons do it for like the first 25 seasons or something like that
Amazing.
until they stopped putting out the DVDs.
How great were those Simpsons? You could get two versions of the DVDs.
Yeah.
One that was flat and one that was a big, like bulbous head.
Yeah.
That it was extended from the box, and I got the bulbous head every time.
Can I give you my hot take?
Sure.
Just make DVDs normal.
Yeah.
Don't make the cases weird.
I have Incredible Hulk, and you have to open it like a brick wall. It's a brick wall that you pull, and he pops out mad, and then you can get the DVD. That's the only way to get it.
So now, I mean, we could talk about this, how we, where we keep our DVDs, because I think the way you keep your DVDs, it's easier to have DVDs like that.
Yes.
Where you have it.
Well, but when I bought that one, we were in a little apartment. But
That's true.
I have when we moved into our new house, there was a wine cellar, and we don't drink wine.
Yeah.
So we converted it to a physical media room. It's board games, CDs, Blu-rays, DVDs. We have a Coke machine.
Yeah.
And it is. I love walking into it. I love.
It's like
a
Blockbuster.
I love it.
It's great.
Me very happy.
Versus mine, they're just on like shelves next to my TV.
But it's so pretty how you do it, and you also have a lot of action figures like populating the shelves, and it just looks. It's really artistic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Running out of space though.
Are you going to have to get rid of DVDs or get a new apartment?
Well, I mean, with my DVDs, mostly all of the DVDs that I own are not on Blu-ray.
Okay.
So those are the only ones that I have at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll probably be the case. But, trying to weed out some of the DVDs that I'm never going to watch. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Would you consider consolidating our collections in my
your
wine
house?
cellar?
Yeah, sure. And
That's
I just
great.
have to drive 30 minutes every time I want to watch something?
Yeah, just give me a heads up. I might not be home, or I might be not wanting to see you.
Great.
My wife will be wanting to see you.
Sure.
She will not be wanting to see me.
No, you guys
But
stay in the
talking
other
to
room.
me, again, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at me, not so
Bad.
much. No, bad news.
Should we tell people who we are and what we do?
Yeah, I mean, I know who I am. If you need to do it for the audience, that's
Do you
fine.
want me to do it for you? And
No,
you do
no,
it
I
for
don't
me?
want to. No, I don't know you well enough to
That's a
say
great
what you
point.
do.
I'm a talent booker and a producer here in Los Angeles. I worked on the Chris Gethard Show and Ask Cat at UCB and the George Lucas Talk Show, and I interned at SNL and Sesame Street and all these cool, crazy places.
Look how cool that was.
Yeah, and I've been doing it for almost 15 years at this point. So it's been I get to meet a lot of cool, weird people, and I think that this podcast will help with that because I'm having people that I've met through these 15 years be on the show and being like, what other thing can I get you to come on to talk about? And some of these people are so hyper specific and niche and like, but it's true.
Right,
Like it's
that's
like
true.
You can't. It's hard to book a costume designer on another podcast.
Sure. Right. Right.
And this is kind of the one thing where it's like, yeah, you get to come talk about this thing at length.
This and Joe Rogan are the only two places
That's true.
I would hear costume.
And eventually, I think we're probably going to morph into very similar shows.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope
so.
But yeah, just a talent booker and working with cool people on both coasts.
Well, you're
New
also a
York and LA.
personality on the George Lucas Talk Show. You are a co-host, and you are amazing on that.
That's true.
Wow. And good at compliments.
Thank you. Yeah, George Lucas Talk Show. It's a show with Connor Ralph and Griffin Newman. Connor plays George Lucas and hosts a talk show, and we interview real people. It's all on YouTube. You should go check it out, where you do shows all across the country
It's
and
so funny.
streaming. But yeah, that's been a good thing. And I think before becoming a quote unquote co-host on that, I think I was not as good at talking in front of groups of people or, being
Right.
a personality. And I think that show definitely helped me propel this show into existence, because this is an idea that I've had for a while.
Right.
And I don't think it would have happened with me, co-hosting it
If you hadn't had the experience.
if I had not been on.
I just noticed when we were during the pandemic, when I would watch every one of your shows, that Connor and Griffin were always really funny with the guests, but then you would come in with the facts and like the real questions, like a real talk show.
Yeah.
And you could tell you'd be good at this kind of thing, and you are.
Well, that's the goal. That show gets a little crazy sometimes, and trying to steer it back on track is always my goal.
Right.
Because I'm like, I booked this cool person. I want to talk to them about XYZ,
Right. Well, as for me, I'm a screenwriter. I wrote Minions. I co-wrote Secret Life of Pets. I wrote Secret Life of Pets 2. I co-wrote Hop. I wrote the story for Minions 2 and the story for the first Puss in Boots.
Mm-hmm.
I write a lot of comic books. I have a book out now that I wrote and drew called Sixth Grade Superstar on Amazon, which is my favorite thing that I've ever done. And I wrote and directed a movie in 1997 called Big Helium Dog, which is coming out on Blu-ray.
I know, it's very exciting.
We'll see. But it's funny. We just showed it at Kevin Smith's Theater. He produced the movie and stars in it. And we showed it at Kevin Smith's Theater on a Sunday night and did a Q&A with the cast. And you guys, the George Lucas Talk Show, were there the previous night. I thought that was pretty cool.
We shared the bill
I
on the marquee outside.
And I was so excited. I took pictures with the actors, and my head is blocking my movie, but your show in clear view. So you're welcome.
You've worked in this industry for a long time, and like from a different perspective from how I've worked in it. And
Right.
I think that, between the two of us, we can talk to different people on different levels because we know how things work in different ways.
I come from a point of superiority.
Yes. And
Right.
I'm
Is that what you're implying?
very much a beta male.
Oh, stop. I was craft service on Chasing Amy.
I was also going to bring that up.
Right. I would love to do that, just a commentary with you and I doing
Great.
Chasing Amy. And I was a producer on a movie called A Better Place that Kevin Smith produced. Vin Pereira wrote and directed in 1995, and I was in it, and I'm terrible. It's also coming out on Blu-ray and DVD.
Really?
And watch it, but please don't pay attention to me in it.
How big of a part do you have in it? I didn't know this.
It's a drama. It's a teen drama, and I was the only like comedic one in it.
Yeah.
And it's really, I stand out for that reason. Like, why is that guy being like trying to be funny in the middle of this like murder teen thing?
Who else is in that?
Jason Lee, Scott Mosier's in it briefly. Ian Bailey,
Yeah.
who has gone on to be he's on From and he's in Fight Club. Rob DiPatri, who has not, I don't think he's acted again, but he's brilliant in it. I think those are the big names.
That's crazy.
It is. I'm terrible, and I'd like to reiterate. Oh, Ethan Suplee.
Great.
We have a fight scene. Kind of.
How did I not know this?
Because I'm ashamed of my performance. It's a very good movie that I'm like Tom Arnold in it. Wow. And I have red dye in my hair, and I was sweaty because it was summer in New Jersey, and it's kind of like running down, like I look like Giuliani a little bit. It's a really good movie, and I hope I don't ruin it when you watch it.
Sure.
Yeah, Vin's a really good writer and director.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see that.
No.
Okay.
So every week we're going to have someone new on, and they're going to talk about a movie or TV show they worked on. And then Patrick will ask good questions, and I'll come in with the same joke every week. See if you can pick it out. There's a joke that I noticed I've been doing that I'm pretty proud of. I'm not going to do it here. See if you can just text us with what you think.
We're on all the socials. We have a Patreon that's going to be coming. Once this is out, it will be live. Different tiers of stuff.
What can they get?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to announce guests early on there before we record them. And if people want to submit questions, we can ask those questions on the pod. I'm going to put up the episode synced up with the video so you can just watch it as a clip on there.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to join this now.
That's great. I love that. We'll get stuff signed for you a couple times a year if you hit a certain level. I will watch the movie on Zoom or on StreamYard with people if they want to watch it.
I feel like that's a you should not do that.
Well, look, there's certain levels.
Barriers between you and the people.
If you hit a certain level of giving, that's when that happens.
Okay. That'll be fun for you to do without me.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely. It says watch it with Patrick on there specifically.
Okay. Signed things, signed posters. No, like you stole a bunch of posters of my movies.
That is true. We were at an event a couple weeks ago where Brian was
signing movie posters,
and then we had a bunch of extra ones at the end.
Because I got no fans.
Yeah, and then I said, "Well, I'm going to take those, and we're going to give them out for the Patreon." But there's a lot of cool things on there, and I think that people will be excited to take part in it and help out the show. You know, in a lot of ways, because we're doing this by ourselves. We're not doing it on a network, and we're not probably going to have ads at the moment. So like this kind of thing is very helpful for, you know, little podcasts that could like this one.
And if you do the highest tier, Patrick's going to show feet pics.
That's true. I will happily.
Not his own, though.
Yeah. We won't tell you whose they are.
Celebrities.
Yep.
And see if you guess them. I'd look, it's weird if you guessed if you knew it.
Oh, the other thing was on the Patreon, if you hit a certain level, I'll do a commentary on your favorite thing with you. And put it on the Patreon.
Oh, I want to be there for that.
Yeah,
I'll be there for that.
Yeah,
I know you want to have alone time with the fans,
well,
but
no, I just don't want to make you do all this work, you know. Yeah. But you'll come on for those. Great.
I would love to.
Okay, great. Thanks for checking it out. The first episode that's going to be up is David Farrier, the director and star of the documentary Tickled. It should already be in the feed right now if you're looking. We do Tickled, and then a little while later in another episode, we're going to do The Tickle King, which is the follow-up to Tickled that came out.
Sequel. It's the Empire Strikes Back of the Tickled
cinematic
universe. Yeah.
And Tickled is fantastic. It's one of my favorite movies ever. And The Tickle King is genuinely better than Tickled, which is
hard.
It's hard to do.
I would say this, and we'll talk about Tickled more when we do that episode, but you will not see what happens in that movie coming at any point.
Yeah.
It's so surprising and so entertaining.
So thank you for checking it out, and we'll see you soon on another episode.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'll be there.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. Your hosts have been Patrick Cotnoir and Brian Lynch. You can find out more about the show at heythat'smepod.com or on social media at heythat'smepod. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary, where you can find out about guests early, submit questions for us to ask on the show, or even do a commentary to your own favorite movie with me. Our music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. Special thanks to Annalise Nelson. Be sure to leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Please tell your friends about this show.